You know how in international relations, it feels like nothing happens for years, sometimes even decades? It's just slow, grinding diplomacy. But then, all of a sudden, everything can change in a flash. That's exactly the story we're diving into today. This absolutely stunning turnaround between India and Canada. There's this old saying that just perfectly captures what happened here. It's a quote that journalist Shankkar Aiyar uses to frame this whole situation. This massive, almost out of nowhere shift in global politics. So for this explainer, we're going to break down his analysis piece by piece. He really lays out this incredible story of missed opportunities, huge political shocks, and what could be a brand new win-win future for India and Canada.
Now, to really understand just how big of a deal this reset is, we have to go back in time. We need to see just how much potential was wasted. And according to Ayer's column, we're talking about a lot of lost time. The story really starts way back in 2009. There were talks for this major economic deal, right? But for more than a decade, pretty much nothing. Aiyar calls it a period totally bogged down by short-term thinking and domestic politics. And it got bad. I mean, really bad. By 2024, the relationship had completely hit rock bottom. We're talking accusations flying, diplomats getting expelled. It really seems like it was over. Okay, so check this out. This is what's so fascinating about where things started. Look at these numbers from 2009. India's economy and Canada's economy were practically the same size, just a little over $1.3 trillion each. This was supposed to be a partnership of equals, just brimming with potential. Now, let's fast forward to 2025. Whoa, look at how much that picture has changed. India's economy just exploded to over $4 trillion, becoming one of the biggest in the world. Canada's grow, yeah, but not even close to the same pace. This graph just perfectly shows the sheer scale of the opportunity that was missed during those 16 years of going nowhere. So, you have to ask, right? If the relationship was completely in the freezer, what could possibly have changed? Well, the answer, according to Ayer's analysis, was a series of massive external shocks that basically forced both countries to throw out their old playbooks. It was like a crazy chain reaction. First, the US election and new tariffs completely upended Canada's most critical relationship. That political earthquake led to a leadership change. Prime Minister Trudeau stepped down, and in comes Mark Carney, an economist. And facing this totally new reality, Carney knew he had to do something drastic. And this was it. This one statement was the turning point. For a country like Canada, whose whole identity and economy is so tied to the US, this was a seismic, earth-shattering shift. It was a clear signal that Canada couldn't just keep doing things the old way anymore. So what do you do when your most important alliance is suddenly on shaky ground? Well, you have to diversify, and you have to do it fast. Canada started looking around for new partners, and its eyes landed on the world's fastest-growing major economy, the very country it had been ignoring for years, India. And this wasn't about just, saying sorry and patching things up. No, this was about building something completely new, something based on what Aiyar identifies as this incredible, complementary set of needs and strengths. I mean, just look at how perfectly this stuff lines up. It's almost like two puzzle pieces clicking together. India's hungry for affordable energy, Canada's got heavy crude, it can offer at a discount. India's a huge buyer of fertilizer inputs, Canada just so happens to have the world's biggest reserves of potash. India has this massive market and a huge skilled workforce for tech. Canada has top-tier AI research, but desperately needs the people and the scale. It's such a natural fit. And here's the best part. This isn't just a theory on paper. This new roadmap is already leading to real, concrete results. We're talking moves on critical minerals, a massive new uranium deal, and, this is the big one, restarting those big economic partnership talks that were dead in the water for 16 years. So this slide really just sums up the entire transformation, doesn't it? The whole thing has been reset. It's gone from a total lose-lose situation, just defined by distrust and going nowhere, to a win-win vision that's all about strategic partnership in trade, tech, and energy. A complete 180. But here's where Aiyar's analysis gets really interesting. He suggests that this story is so much bigger than just India and Canada. It's actually a sign of a much larger global trend that we all need to be paying attention to. The really crucial takeaway here is that this whole reset is a direct reaction to a changing world order.
Countries are waking up and realizing they need to build new, more resilient economic partnerships. It's all about creating supply chains that don't depend on those old alliances that are, frankly, becoming pretty unreliable. Ayer closes out his column by bringing up this classic piece of diplomatic wisdom. It's such a hopeful note, right? It suggests that even after years of bitterness and distrust, the door for partnership can always be reopened, especially when the world forces your hand.
And that really leaves us with a big final question. In a world where all the old traditional alliances are being put to the test, could this very pragmatic, needs-based partnership between India and Canada actually be the blueprint for how other countries navigate the really turbulent decades that are ahead? It's definitely something I think about.